they've really kind of all in on one support for a full series, and especially one as important as this, where we've talked about they're only losing to these very, very top echelon of teams, the Immortals, the TSMs. They do not want to lose to Apex. They need to continue to climb up the standings, try to pick up as many championship points as possible, and position themselves to qualify for Worlds.
Yeah, Cloud9 definitely still have their eyes on that Worlds prize, but I'm sure right now everyone is just taking a deep breath after that 60-minute slugfest of just breathe, relax, get our heads back into this game, into the here, into the now. And speaking of which, we have entered into picks and bans. Braum taken away from Xpecial, Aurelia again banned away from Ray, while Talia and Trundle are banned away from Impact and Jensen.
Been down this road before, very similar bans from both teams. We'll see what the final ban has been, because that has really been where they've been kind of pivoting more based on previous games, based on various things like that. So Rek'Sai taken off the table. They do not want to pick it up first, and they don't feel like giving it away. A lot of power picks in the mid lane left open has been the case consistently. Vladimir taken off the table, though. What will C9 go to?
Yeah, so this is a very similar pick and ban to what we saw in game number 1, but Rek'Sai made it through, and Cloud9 prioritized that.
This time they take it away, so maybe wanting to try to take a mid lane or something. It's hard to know really what they're going to go for, as Karma has been a champion that is traditionally really like prioritized very highly and taken up, you know, at a lot of times like this, guys like Sivir and Karma, but they have not really been a priority from either team in this series. When they were picked up, they were picked up later. This time it looks like it will be the Karma. That is kind of back more to a standard LCS draft these days, as Karma has been ultra high priority, but I don't think we've really seen it nearly as much this time.
Not a very high priority pick over the course of this set, but things are changing. Elise now locked in for Shrimp, despite Nidalee being available, and Apollo taking Ashe away from Sneaky.
And it's one of those situations where Shrimp got massively ahead of Meteos last game early. You know, he was way up on the Nidalee, but it's harder to kind of extend that gold lead and really utilize that extra gold that you have. You know, he's hoping maybe perhaps on a champion like Elise, not only do you have that early game impact, that heavy ganking presence, but if you get ahead, it can be a monster as far as the dives go, as far as creating picks with Flash Cocoons, and really trying to finish out the game.
Yeah, might also be trying to avoid that really difficult laning phase that before the ace, Cloud9 actually were doing really good in that bottom lane with
on the Ashe,
with their Ashe Bard combo. So might be trying to pick that away, look for something a little bit more comfortable, or again, just going back towards that pick comp, because they did run that poke siege comp in the previous game.
A lot of CC so far picked up, and it looks like C9 will take Sivir. So just as I say, Sivir and Karma is not really being picked this series. They proved me wrong.
Look at that.
They're going to go to it, and this has been the kind of S-tier bot lane that everyone was talking about. So much team fight power and a darn good laning phase. It may not be Lucian as far as the dueling for Sivir, but you can shove in your opponents very heavily. You do have poke, scales well into team fights. You can enable the rest of your team, move in, move out, disengage and engage with both the Mantra shields and that Sivir ulti.
It's also excellent at backdooring.
There you go.
If we get to that point. But Apex looking for their next 2 picks.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to show Ray. They almost never do. So I'm guessing it is going to be an engaged support. Alistar would not surprise me. Braum was taken away.
Victor
Xpecial just always wants to play these star champions. Victor certainly could be the go-to once again. He did great on it. It may actually be the lock. Okay, so they actually are going to lock it in. So they locked in the Fiora. They're saving the mid lane this time. And what will the answer be from Impact? He has not had a good game or really a good series so far. Has been kind of struggling in that matchup against Ray, and Ray has been doing very well for himself. Now picks the Fiora. It's Impact's turn to try to get that counter pick. If they wanted to go for something like the Shen, this may be a nod towards that. Say, hey, you're going to pick a tank anyway. That's what you play. And just kind of put him in a position where perhaps we can see Ray just really outscale and take advantage of that 1v1 situation. Still, even if you do pick the Shen, it's not like you can't hold on and fight very evenly for quite a long time. And you can make plays around the rest of the map. You have more early game impact. So they may go for that.
Put their eggs in the Ray basket.
Yeah, so it is going to be the Shen again. So they're just doing it anyway. And I actually think that because the Shen is getting locked in, this is kind of C9 playing into Apex's hands a little bit. I really do think that this was an intelligent pick from Apex because they're kind of saying, yes, we can actually show this and we can get the best of both worlds. We can get the good matchup for Fiora because you're just going to play into it anyway, and we can get the counter pick for our mid laner. So really, as far as the draft goes for Apex, I feel like they have gotten everything they want out of it, but at the same time, they're giving up a lot. They're kind of picking for these 1v1 matchups and things like that, where C9 has basically just drafted an absolutely monstrous team fight team.
Yeah.
You gave them the S tier bot lane. You gave them the powerful engaged jungler. You gave them the hyper carry mid laner that is like super high priority, and you gave them one of the top team fighting and kind of team fight presence top laners in Shen, who can move around the map and really respond and help out his team. So it's going to be the victor anyway. A lot of this game is really going to come down to, as it has throughout the rest of the series, but even more so now, it's going to come down to Ray and Impact. Ray, if he gets the kind of lead like he got last game, you get that kind of 3,000-4,000 gold lead on a Fiora over a Shen.
Oh, yeah.
It can be lights out. You can start just 1v2ing. Forget the 1v1. You can be diving turrets, killing that guy off. You can be taking inhibitors and really pushing the advantage, whereas Rumble is much more about the team fight. He has to group and succeed as a squad.
Well, now that's Apex once again putting all their eggs into the Ray and Keen basket.
Yeah.
And the pressure is on for Cloud9 as they're going to have to rely on their huge playmakers of Jensen and Sneaky to clear out this series.
They will, but Meteos has been massive for the team. Also, gotta give a lot of credit to him and Smoothie. They've been playing great.
Yeah.
I think that Apex has a solid team. They have a lot of pick. Ash Arrow, Engages from Xpecial, Cocoons from Shrimp. You have the Gravity Field from Victor. So this squad has a lot of ways to catch people. It's kind of a little bit akin to Game 1, where you had Jensen on this Cassiopeia, and even though he has Cleanse, he's just getting CC layered on him, can't always escape.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's going to end up looking like that. Jensen definitely does not want to have a repeat of Game 1. Showed up huge in Game 2, and Azir certainly is a bit safer than the Cass. You can kind of dive out and disengage with your ultimate.
Definitely very high skill champion, but we're ready to bust out the tiebreaker. So show your support on Twitter. Use hashtag C9win or hashtag APXwin and cheer your squad to victory as we load onto the Rift for game number 3 between Cloud9 and Apex.
Starting with a machete is kind of interesting. I feel like I always see Elise's go Hunter's gear, so a little bit odd, but maybe just feeling like he can be in spider form so much, he doesn't have to care about the meta, so I could be wrong, and that is more common than I think, but I'm pretty certain that it's almost always the Hunter's gear, so a bit of an adaptation. It shouldn't matter too much. Special, gonna go coin, so this is like ultra super mega passive lane that he's just accepting he's not going to be able to really fight for. If you go Targons, you can sometimes contest the push. You can kind of get up there and get the executes on the minions, hopefully get the early push with that. It does give you some healing as well. But what this allows you to do is kind of just get heal basically, and you have more mana regen, and you're getting health back from kind of just things dying around you, and it's much more passive. You don't have to aggressively go forward for Targon executes, and you just basically spam out heals and try to play the lane passively. So they did neutralize a big laning advantage from C9 in Game 1, where C9 had Karma Lucian against, I think it was actually Ashe and Alistar. So I think it was actually the same lane, and I was like looking into this, okay, C9's gonna smash these guys in the 2v2, but it didn't happen, and now Apex actually getting the lane swap off for the first time and are going to be able to avoid.
Cloud9, though, going to be looking for an early advantage. As the mantra is used by Sneaky, get the little faster cooldown as he tries to start off with that Krugs, while Apollo and Xpecial do the same on the opposite side of the map.
Bond of Stone also for Xpecial is kind of interesting because almost always you see Wind Speakers now for Alistar. You can buff up your team with that AoE heal, very, very nice. But is going to make the adjustment and take Bond of Stone. Makes you a little bit more tanky.
Smoothie. We're going to get a little bit of harass. Doesn't quite do too much. As Shrimp is able to answer back. That means Ray can actually pick up some damage onto Sneaky. Might be able to secure a few of these camps. Smoothie continues to chase Shrimp through the jungle.
Yeah, Smoothie doing a good job kind of pushing him off at least the second camp. Maybe gonna try to take away Little Wolf. Not able to do it though. And this is actually, Sneaky's kind of getting low, honestly, in the bot lane. Has to be a bit careful. If Ray is actually level 2, so this is very, very tense across a lot of different lanes. Impact is not getting nearly as much. Ray's actually basically just like farming in this lane in 1v1, whereas it's a 2v1 in the top lane. And sure, Meteos is being uninterrupted, but Shrimp was really not stopped. Shrimp is maybe one camp behind, but I think that's kind of a bit of a win perhaps for Apex, as you definitely want to keep the Fiora down as long as possible. And although Impact did eventually pick up some of that farm under a turret, I would be pretty happy about trading that as Apex. Looks like they actually want to stick around a little bit, though. Top laners generally move back very quickly, and now, as Impact spots Shrimp coming up, he will TP bot lane, and the play will continue as normal.
Yeah, teleport trade as the standard turret take. Looks to be the name of the game for the next few minutes.
Yeah, farm advantage actually opening up quite a bit for Meteos after that. Because he has just actually power cleared, he was not interrupted at all. And while Shrimp was moving around to threaten the dive, Meteos didn't do so either, so has just moved back and forth, power cleared out a couple camps, got himself a nice little XP and gold advantage. We'll see if that can actually translate into anything, as Jensen has some poke onto Keen, and will be looking to extend that.
So we actually saw in game number 1 a very similar situation in which Meteos was able to open up an advantage over Shrimp.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to turn that gold advantage and creep advantage into an advantage for Cloud9 as a whole.
Yeah, it can be tough sometimes to do that on these tanky junglers. You have to do it mostly through your initiation. You're not the champion that really kind of like hard carries the game and just kills everyone. You're building very tanky, you're building very supportive. And in general, you set your team up and then they have to succeed.
In the end, that is the important part. Xpecial gets the minion.
Just taxing on his way back to that bot lane.
He didn't actually get the kill, but looked pretty stylish as he heads on down to...
Yeah, he was actually just using it to move down to bot lane a little bit faster. Yeah. Just use it as a little dash. Impact side stepping.
Oh, big damage finds Ray. He's forcing flash. They chase. Exhaust. Looking for first blood. Boomerang blade hits. One more auto. Oh, he riposts. But first blood, Smoothie.
So they wanted it on Sneaky, but they do get it and still in victory. Got a little bit nervous because there's actually a massive attack speed reduction when you parry someone. So Sneaky couldn't maybe get that last auto off, and Smoothie takes it. They're going to be very happy about that. And we'll be able to get an early Sightstone push up, get some damage on this turret. Things looking good, and Impact making the rotation through mid lane.
Yeah, heading to follow up with that duo for the double turret take, but that's Cloud9 starting this game off with an advantage after that. Here that play is again.
Yeah, here it is again, and Ray actually greeting out a lot. It worked out from last time, but now Smoothie makes a rotation, tags him with the slow, flash in for the exhaust to slow him down for Sneaky, tags him with the Boomerang blade, and there it is. So parry, and look at him, he's trying to get that last auto off, but he's slowed so much, Smoothie didn't want to risk it, and I think it's smart to just secure there.
Like a true support, taxing. I need this gold to finish off my Sightstone. That vision means that we can take things later.
Or alternatively, get a Frostfang and say, I'm going to carry. Get that gold, get in there.
This isn't Zyra. It's Karma.
That's okay. Karma's a mid laner too.
Meanwhile, those top laners securing those turrets. Ray's going to be able to get this. Trying to deny as much as possible. And Impact does the same on the opposite side of the map. So 6 minutes in, the double turret take is complete. Cloud9 are sending their duo back towards that bottom side, whereas Apex are sending their duo to the top side. With Mountain Drake on the map, Cloud9 could look for that as a first objective.
Certainly could, but probably don't have the confidence to make the move just yet. They couldn't return to the scene of the crime. If Ray's to stay around, he knows he has to be careful. Flashless Fiora early game, nice target. Going to be taking the cull, so obviously no plan to really be fighting early. Wants to scale heavily, knows it's going to be a long time before she can do so, and will pick up the cull.
Very slow Fiora build out of this, but Apex gets some vision on that blue side of Cloud9's jungle. With the wave being prepped by Apollo, might be looking for a tier 2. As Cloud9 do the same on the opposite side of the map. And blue buff going to be secured by Shrimp. Meteos doing the same. So mid laners not getting that secondary blue.
And Xpecial has to base now. You can see Ray was actually pinging for assist. He does not want this wave to get denied to him. So they're trying to push it in. They're trying to zone him off the wave, be able to crash it into the turret, and then deny all that farm. And Meteos moving over to the side as well, but Apex is on the case, and this is what you need as a top laner in this situation. You have to have your team supporting you so you can be there and at the very least get the XP, but hopefully get all the farm. And he's going to be able to.
Yeah.
So they could perhaps go for that dragon now, since they do have the waves pushed in. They have that pressure, and they may start it up. Mountain is big.
Very early Mountain Drake Apollo.
Nice taunt.
Gets taunted under the turret.
Not in turret range, actually.
Just out of turret range.
If he was a step forward, that could have actually been a chase down kill. If he took 1 or 2 turret shots there, could have been pretty brutal for Apollo. Perhaps he would have been able to escape, but either way, would have been at least summoners.
Mountain Drake, though, being picked up by Cloud9 after the trade, breaking the siege setup. It's a 700 gold lead off of that kill.
And the farm. I mean, Jensen is winning mid lane. They're doing pretty well in that regard, so has opened up a little bit of a lead for himself. Picks up a Stinger, grabs the Negatron. It does not want to get solo killed against the Victor again. And he is going to be building it careful. Same time, early Zerker-Greaves grab now for Apollo. Zerker-Greaves pretty crazy how efficient they are actually ever since their most recent update, and with the lowering of priority of some of these other buffs. And oh, especially getting spotted out.
Got him.
Nice ulti.
He's got his flash. Caught by the
lands.
tether, though. He's not level 6. There goes Stand United. Whoa, Meteos gets knocked on the far side as Xpecial goes down to Cloud9.
The 5-man collapse from Cloud9, and they make Xpecial pay. He did not know he was hanging out on the ward. Good job by Meteos and Co to not give it away, and Meteos nails the ultimate now. They're looking to make the collapse on bot lane, but Apollo's here. They're ready.
Oh, they turn it onto Smoothie, looking to get the kill with the Grand Challenge. They get it. That's a lot of regeneration onto Apex. Meteos running now for his life,
comes
but
Impact.
Ray gets a kill.
Azira's here as well.
Ooh, Flash Taunt finds Ray. He goes down. Jensen hops the wall, and then back, and then back, and then back.
Still 2 for 1 for Apex there. Nice job striking back. Ray does fall, but able to get a kill and assist, and looking pretty good. Has gold for the Tiamat now.
Oh.
Impact, got to be careful.
Apollo's still there.
Yep, so is Sneaky. Special now has returned. They ping him out. They know he's coming back down, and they are going to have to be careful about that. Karma very squishy at this point, and Apollo nails the first ultimate, picks that one up. Impact just looking to kind of zone them off and maintain some of this jungle control.
Oh, there he goes.
Got it.
Secures the Tiny Krug.
This is a very nice lane position, though, for the Fiora. And here it is once again. Apollo opens up. They flash right in. Great CC chain onto Smoothie. Take him out very quickly. And Meteos with a nice return on that body slam. But it's 2 already down. And then it's Impact, Taunt, Flash. Picks up Ray. Jensen sliding over the wall and makes it a 2 for 1. But they have to be worried about this Fiora getting a freeze top lane. They need to actually go push this in, because that's a freeze that could last for a very long time unless she decides to push it out. This is one of those ones that's like almost an infinite freeze if you do hold it, and that's exactly what Fiora wants. Already 20, well, closing in on 20 CS ahead of Impact, so they need to be cognizant of this. Impact either has to make a play around the map and really kind of aggressively push their advantages elsewhere, or they need to be top lane and they need to be pushing that in, resetting the wave. It's very dangerous.
Seems like they might be giving the freeze over to Impact in that bottom lane.
So they have to get something else done.
Immediately heads towards the top. Apex, though.
Special looking for it. Arrow coming in. Whoa.
Walks it off. Doesn't even flash. Doesn't blink.
Yep. So they're going to, in turn, actually give that freeze over in the bot lane to Impact. This is not nearly as good of a freeze, though. I don't think that one will stay, and Ray has actually broken his freeze top lane, so it will eventually bounce. Did kind of clear that out. Oh, he actually sold his Tiamat for a Phage. Didn't notice that, so decided to change that buy. We'll be going very likely towards Black Cleaver first then, instead of that Hydra.
Already up to about a 23 CS lead over Impact.
Yep.
Ray, pretty much the heartbeat of Apex over the past few weeks. If he can get it off the ground, he's been showing up with some big performances, but recently we've really seen Keen come to life on his own in the mid lane. His performance in Game 1 was MVP worthy.
Yeah, Keen has had a lot of great games like that. Always been a fantastic mid laner. loves playing different stuff. You know, in the Challenger scene, he's playing mid lane Graves, he's playing mid lane Hecarim, he's playing all kinds of different stuff, and they're going for Ray. Here comes the Shen ulti. They want to catch him.
Smoothie's going to try to submarine, but Ray is running as fast as he can.
Look at all those speed ups.
Yeah.
No chance for Ray to ever get out. Saber ulti followed up by the Karma. Sneaky gets the kill, exactly who he wanted on, and that is how to do it. Aggressive initiations with the Shen, with the speed ups. They are looking great. But Apex moved to the mid lane. If they can get a turret for that in trade, it's fantastic, and looks like they may.
Whoa!
Oh, Jensen going
Jensen
in.
Gets knocked up by Xpecial, and the arrow misses.
That was so good by Xpecial. He timed that Q perfectly. He was actually going to shuffle the team into the turret with C9 coming in. That would have meant multiple kills for Cloud9. But Xpecial on top of it times his headbutt pulverize, his pulverize perfectly. Saves the team.
Just like that, the turret is still standing, and Cloud9 come out on top with that kill.
And here it is once more. LCS big plays for sure. Look at that.
Oh.
He pre-buffered it. Seeing him slide over, he already was casting that on the ground, knocks him out of his slide, denying the Azir combo. Fantastic. And now, can Apex make the collapse? There's 4C9 here. The Rift Herald is low. They're going to go for it.
They've got Smite.
Oh,
it's
he stole
secured
it.
by Apex.
And
Impact waiting. Oh, there goes the Chaos Storm. Keen ghosts for the chase. But they're not able to get any kills.
Did Shrimp get it?
He did.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, did he get the buff, though? Okay, yeah, it is on him. So he has Glimpse of the Void. I do see that on there now. Great job by Shrimp. C9 invests the members. They get nothing out of it. And Shrimp makes the nice outplay there on Meteos, taking away that Smite.
Cloud9 trying to expand their advantage, but find themselves unable to, as Apex continuing to keep pace despite this early aggression. Now the next Drake has spawned, Ocean Drake, in the pit.
The wave control for Apex has just been very good this game, and so much more farm has gone the way of Ray. When you add into that the fact that he went Cull, he's actually going to be getting a lot of gold here, and despite Impact being involved in a lot of kills, 1-0-2, he's already down 1,300 gold. And when that Cull pops, that's another couple hundred gold he's going to be down. So it's actually starting to get kind of worrying. And Cloud9 is going to have to start getting things happening for them, with Shen already down 2 levels, already down a lot of gold, Impact really suffering again. It's not all on him, though. It's all on C9. C9 needs to control the waves well, and didn't do a good job of it.
They're able to do it in the late game, but it's only 15 minutes in, not that much time to flex around that. Apex are trying to start off this Ocean Drake nice and early.
Ultimate ready for Impact, and I think C9 will want to contest, but no, they're going to decide to back off. Free Dragon there for Apex, adding that into the mix. So a lot going well for Apex this game after some pretty great starts from C9. They have been struggling a little bit here to actually extend that advantage and to get the catches that they want. And although Ray has died 3 times, does not really matter when he's picking up all this gold.
Currently 40 ahead. Apex closing that gold lead that Cloud9 have and equalizing the Dragons. 1 Mountain Drake Cloud9, 1 Ocean Drake Apex. And the next Drake that is going to spawn will be another Mountain Drake.
Yeah, Apollo has stayed very relevant as far as farming too. Sneaky's a little bit ahead, has a kill and an extra assist, which is nice for him, but it's not anywhere close to the lead that he had last game when Apollo was playing that. Jhin was really struggling to keep up with Sneaky, but has not been the case this time around whatsoever.
Apollo's impact in team fights has been pretty big for Apex as well. Not quite Sneaky level, but he's been doing some pretty good stuff for his team.
And look at this. Ray gets the red buff. This is like one of the only teams in the whole league that does this kind of stuff, where they actually just give over neutral buffs relatively consistently to Ray. Shrimp actually leashed that for him, smited it for him, gives it over. Almost every other team at this stage is either going to be giving that to their jungler or their AD carry. They give it to their top laner, just trusting him to kind of make the plays, extend the advantage. And I've even seen him give over blue buffs and stuff to him when he's not even playing AP champions.
Apex looking to pressure that bottom, their top tier 2. Escort a large minion wave in, but Cloud9 see it coming from a mile away and are able to defend. And in fact, Sneaky's actually racing down towards the mid lane. That mid tier 1, it's still standing despite Apex's rotation.
Just barely, though. And they're going to be able to pick that up anytime they get even one auto on the turret. So Cole has popped for Fiora, 1,400 gold lead now for Ray. Pretty brutal. It's a full BF sword basically ahead if he wants to go that route. Obviously not going to be building Bloodthirster second, I wouldn't assume. Probably going to be Hydra next. Could go another direction if he decides. Some early MR would not be the worst.
Yeah. And now Apex have actually found themselves in the gold lead.
Yeah.
Only by about 200, but just shoveling so much gold. So much emphasis on Ray. And really opening up for them.
With that mid lane turret very, very close to going down, whenever they pick that up, that's another chunk of gold in their pockets. So Apex is looking good. C9, though, still have a very powerful composition of their own. They have very good scaling, too. Azir and Sivir are no slouches in these late-game fights. And although Impact will struggle in the 1v1s, Ray is still going to have to be very, very careful because the collapse can come in very quickly with Sivir ultis and with the Karma shields.
Oh, Boomerang Blade, not enough to secure it. Keen gets his own blue buff, gifted over by Shrimp. Shrimp even through that Rift Herald. Cloud9 now look to get some pressure on the mid lane and answer back on the chip damage that was dealt earlier. So that's a victor.
Good spell shield from Sneaky, actually blocking the cocoon there. Probably would have meant his life. And Ray, they want to try to make him group. They want to try to force the issue around some of these objectives, but Apex has always been in place to answer, and Impact knows he has no business going too close to Ray there, who can easily kill him 1v1 right now.
Black Cleaver and the Tiamat now finished. That is a big Fiora. But continuing to split push, build towards that late game. Have high impact late game. As we're getting closer now towards the 20-minute mark, Apex continuing to open up with the advantage. Now up to about 5,000 gold.
Yeah, or 500.
500 gold.
It's a lot less than 5,000.
Nope.
But C9, I want to see them continue to be proactive. I like the plays they made with the Shen earlier. They need to continue to do so, and Keen getting so low.
Arrow finds Jensen, but he cleanses it right quick and dashes away. But that's mid-tier 1. Going to go down. Oh, no, it's not. They can't. Cocoon onto Meteos denies the cask.
Yeah, Keen was just kind of walking into Jensen, trying to go to get ready for the arrow to land, but Jensen gets a big trade back onto Keen. Makes Keen base, and C9 going to look to push out in mid. No cleanse available for Jensen, though. He'll have to be very careful with Special and Shrimp both having flash available. Can look to make a play on the C9 mid laner. Proto Belt done now for Shrimp. This is kind of the new style and build for Elise.
New hotness.
You get that Proto Belt second, and you can get in there very aggressively. Go into Rylai's even. People are doing super aggressive builds now. Sightstone seeming to be a thing of the past on these Elise, as a lot of them are going very heavily AP, and you really have to respect the damage that can come out. If you can Proto Belt in on an AD carry, land that combo, you can kill that guy off very easily.
Red buff now going to be stolen away, even smited by Shrimp. Smitten. But Mountain Drake is spawning in 30 seconds.
70 CS up for Ray, 2 levels up for Ray. C9 needs to do something. You can't just let this guy scale for free, and it's very concerning that they are not trying to be more proactive here.
Yeah, Ray just keeping Impact occupied. They actually race forward onto Keen. He gets cast back and destroyed by Cloud9.
But Xpecial's looking to respond. He wants to go for the turret dive here onto Impact, perhaps. He gets spotted out now, though. They're going to call it off. Shrimp getting low.
Ooh, lots of damage from Jensen, but he's not able to get the kill. Mountain Drake is up, and Cloud9 are on the pit.
That is exactly what C9 needed to do. They need to be proactive, keep getting these kills and these picks. You can't allow Fiora all this free time in the side lanes to not get punished, and they will get their second Mountain Drake of the game, which is massive. This is actually, win rate-wise, this Dragon is the best one by far in close games going into late game.
Ooh. Ray gets taunted and pulled onto the turret.
A lot of damage from the turret there. Has to be careful, though.
He's trying to go for the final vital, but he can't reach it. Impact hugs the wall. And they disengage.
They're looking to chase. They do have a lot of speed here to catch back up. Special's going to have to pop the ulti. Has to flash. They can still continue the chase for Fiora. This is Smoothie being sped up. They want to go for it. Can they get him? TP coming out.
Arrow misses. They found Ray. Oh! Oh,
he gets
escaped
out
with his life.
Impact did not have energy for the taunt there. He used his Q going into the bush, and Ray with a clever play gets out. Still, they forced the flash from Xpecial, got his ulti as well when he got cut off, and Ray blows the TP. So a massive global advantage now for C9. They need to force the issue. You have Shen ulti, you have Shen TP. Make something happen. Fiora cannot respond. You have to go for dives. You have to push the issue.
Cloud9 taking this game a bit slower than they should be. Find themselves still at a minor deficit to Apex. But with that double Mountain Drake and a Azir Sivir on their team, they should find themselves in a good situation if they can find an opening. But
yeah, they certainly have a good scaling team, but you just always have to worry about Fiora versus Shen. It's very ugly. As you get further and further into the game, Ray 66 CS up, hanging around the same area that he was, and as he starts building towards that Bloodthirster, which is likely going to be the next one, it gets to the point where, as a Shen, you actually just can't out-DPS the Fiora. You can't stop the healing with the Vitals, plus the double lifesteal items, and it just becomes an unstoppable force where they get to that point and they just start killing you under the turret. Even though they're taunted, even though they have parry, it doesn't matter because you can't out-DPS the healing.
Now that Baron has spawned, we return to the dance that occupied 40 of our minutes in the previous game, fighting over Vision, making sure that there's no chance that either of the teams could be sneaking it.
So Shen is on the bot side, pushing it in, looking to perhaps set up one of those global plays. He wants to draw someone down here to answer him, and then he can rotate with the TP, with that global ultimate. In response, Ray is kind of having to be kept on a leash a little bit, has to stay around his team. He knows he does not have the TP, and they don't want to give up any big plays. UC9.
Cloud9 race onto a
nice
bomb.
ulti.
Oh, he gets cast back in. Another kill for Jensen.
Very clean stuff from Meteos. Executes the pick. Very, very good. Does not even have to blow a flash for it, and Shrimp going to get pushed back. And now this is where you can start to get pulled apart a little bit as Apex, because Impact gets all this free time in the bot lane, C9 have the numbers advantage, and they have the global advantage. So Ray has to come and collapse. They're going to get the turret off that. Means a lot. Impact now pushing towards that tier 2. C9 gets proactive, and they get rewarded big time. We'll see how much damage Impact can actually get on this tier 2 of his own. If he can kill that too, would be huge for the team.
Yeah, the rest of Cloud9 are heading towards that side as well. Bonus movement speed from Karma doing a lot for them, and even Keen getting denied. Tier 2 goes down.
Ray just walks right up. What is he doing?
Forced to flash away. Ooh, riposte the boomerang.
He does, but Ray is getting way too bold, just saying, you won't dive me. And turns out they will. Jensen going to be moving over here, has to back up. Had a soldier behind him for that retreat path, so wanted to get as much damage as possible. Was very prepared for the rotation. Smart Azir play from him, and has the turret set up in the mid lane. They're looking to keep this ball rolling. Ray, thankfully for Apex, will soon have his TP, which will alleviate some of this added pressure. A lot of it had been because of that summary disadvantage, because of the fact he can't just be out split pushing a lane when he has no way to respond to team fights. So it's big edges from little things in these games.
Cloud9 forced to take it a little bit slower as Apex. They've got all the tools, they just need to use them in the right way to find the win here. Ray, he enormous lead over Impact, but
yeah, the CS is just so big.
Yeah.
But to be fair, one of the things that's really good for C9 is all their gold is getting funneled into the two main carries, the AD carry and their mid laner, Jensen and Sneaky. Both have a couple of kills. They both have good CS advantages. 50 plus actually for Jensen. So he's opening up a big lead for himself in the mid lane, 50 plus for Sneaky. So although that was kept earlier even, he's actually up 2 levels. Jensen's up a level. So these carries are becoming massive, and the discrepancy there is becoming almost as large as it is between Fiora and that Shen. So they really do have to worry about that, and these guys are no slouches as far as scaling goes.
Yeah, now that Mountain Drake is a minute from spawning.
If they get triple,
that would
the threat of Baron and rushing down turrets, even just the added split push damage for a champion like Shen, who normally does not kill the turrets very fast, is ridiculous. Baron just dies instantly. They're going for an engage.
Oh, Sneaky spell shields the Cocoon, and Shrimp.
Does get slowed.
He's got the repel, repels away, and can make it to the minions. He's able to escape with his life. Xpecial trying to chase them in the corridor.
Here's the Shen ulti coming in. They're looking for Keen.
Keen is in the back line. He's found Smoothie. Smoothie, oh, survives by the shield. Oh, going to go down to Keen. Meanwhile, Impact trying to flank in the front, gets collapsed upon by the rest of Apex. 2 kills for him.
Yeah, Impact just went so deep for that. I don't know what he was thinking. He wasn't even close to killing anyone. This is a full tank Shen that's behind, and he just tries to dive in onto Keen there, maybe trying to create separation between him and Smoothie so the ulti would slow down, but big mistake from C9. Cost him a lot.
And with that Mountain Drake up now, and Ray putting pressure in the mid lane, Apex could look to balance it out. Whoa, they're Baroning.
Yeah, they're going straight for the Baron. Meteos is moving down. They know about it. How fast can C9 respond? This is a very fed Azir. Apollo's going to take a lot of damage. They have to be careful. Remember, Keen has no ultimate. Sneaky is killing Xpecial.
He's chasing him around.
In goes Azir.
To get in. He's trying to look
steal.
Sneaky gets the kill.
He got it!
Stolen by Cloud9, and they're cleaning up the kills as well. They're able to get a triple kill. Impact catches Keen, and Apex gets shut down.
Sneaky with the quadra kill. Comes up huge for the team. Apex gets far too bold, and Sneaky and Jensen are there. Meteos with another massive play gets the steal, and this is such a big deal for Cloud9. Break down mid lane, will crack the inhibitor, and can move straight to their 3rd Mountain Dragon.
Cloud9 securely in the driver's seat. Take down this inhib, and Xpecial can do nothing but watch. They've got a 7,000 gold lead, double Mountain Drake with the 3rd on the map, and complete control over this game.
And here it is, very, very bold call. Yes, they had the pick, but there's TP still on the Shen, and Jensen is massive. This is still an early Baron without anyone who really is tanking it. Look at the damage they're just taking from the Baron. Meteos so patient, waits. There's the smite, smites right after, nails it. And Jensen is in, already getting so much damage on the side. With Sneaky, they flash over. TP came in from Impact, rejoins the fight. Quadra for Sneaky, and he is, once again, a full item up on Apollo, and this is becoming problematic. Sivralti gets popped. They want to go for the chase down. I think they can catch Keen here. Jensen's going to go for the flank. He wants to go.
Jensen goes forward. A huge scoop catches Keen. While Impact in the front zones Ray away. Triple Mountain Drake, a minion wave.
They could end the game here. They're actually going to look for it. The wave clears down. C9 has triple Earth. They can actually end the game right now. Can Apex hold on? Apollo has so much wave clear to do, but he's so weak. He's very behind.
That inhibitor goes down, and Cloud9 continue to press forward. They haven't lost a single minion yet. Finally, the first falls, but Cloud9 have already dropped a Nexus turret. Taunt finds Shrimp. Smoothie and Sneaky are on the side. Xpecial gets a huge knockup, but there's no follow-up as Apollo's kiting it out as best he can. They're able to pick up the kill. Legendary for Sneaky as Impact kites it around. Sneaky trying to finish off this Nexus turret with the help of Impact. Cloud9 zoning on the side, but the Nexus turrets go down. The Nexus itself will drop in a 30-minute win from Cloud9.
What an explosive turnaround from Cloud9. Apex overreaches, goes for the Baron. Cloud9 takes the ace, takes an inhibitor. One more catch meant the game as Jensen and Impact going in, diving onto the Victor, cleaning him up, meant there was no hope for Apex to hold against all those Baron minions.
Yeah, Cloud9